With sales volumes up, is the spring market back and our prices to follow? We're going to talk about this and so much more in this month's market update video. I'm Alex Kluge with Toronto Home Experts, and before we dive into this month's market update video, this is your friendly reminder to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and comment below. It really helps our YouTube algorithms. All right, let's talk about what's happening in Toronto real estate for April 2026. As I alluded to at the top, sales volumes are up year over year, 7%. Is this something you get excited about? Definitely not that exciting. We are, if you remember last April, I was talking about how the real estate market for April was at an all-time low for sales volume. Well, this would be not too far off it. So we're certainly not back to those late 2010s, early 2020 numbers, but it's a little bit encouraging, I suppose, to see a little bit more activity, especially what's happening, macroeconomically. But I think, this is, not like 7% off the lows is really nothing to get overly excited about. But active listings are down, which is an encouraging sign. Like we're seeing a little bit more absorption, like so more product is being sold, which is contributing to the increase in sales volume. So that's like an encouraging indicator, I suppose. But when we're talking about trend reversals in the market, we need to see like many months of data points for reference, and here we're talking about 1 month. So the market's not back, but I suppose if we're looking at if we're trying to decipher anything from these numbers, is that this is a little bit better of a spring market than some might have suggested in early 2026. So the spring market back, well, I'm going to talk about that in a moment because it really is there's some interesting price trends to talk about. Okay, so year over year, we're actually down 5% or 4.9%. So that's if we're looking at, what segments are performing better than others, like condos are certainly are more affected than freeholds. Certainly suburban freeholds and condos are quite sluggish right now. Central Toronto freeholds are actually performing quite well. Like anything like close to the core is actually seeing an increase in activity, and multiple offers are back. We were involved in multiple offers, actually in 2 last week. And, what we're seeing is that if you've got a property that presents well in a good location and is at an attractive price point, there are many buyers out there looking. So now on the price point, because if you're saying, oh, multiple offers, is bidding war frenzy back? It's not really. Buyers are still reserved with their, shall I say, valuations, because, looking at these numbers, we're looking at average prices are down 4.9%. But where are we trending vis-a-vis the start of the year? Prices are actually up a little bit. So look, we're up 3.4% for month over month. And that's pretty normal. Mostly, when you see, average price trends, winter is slow, usually prices are, grinding down. And then April is the start of that reversal in a normal real estate year. Am I calling this a normal real estate year? No, but, this is a fairly typical, sort of development in pricing trends. So, what I am seeing though is on the pricing side, prices for condos are quite sluggish, and anywhere between 7 to 8.5%, depending on where and what you're looking at, year over year decline, which is pretty significant. The condo market is still very, very sluggish. Now on the freehold side, prices are down, albeit much less so, which is obviously contributing to that average, right? Freeholds are really propping up the market in central Toronto or close to the downtown core. So that seemingly is an encouraging development. But is this going to continue? Do I think this is going to be the rest of the year? I'm not convinced personally. I think this is a little bit of call it, spring season phenomena, if you will. Like, we'll see if this continues through the summer. I think it's probably things are going to slow down a little bit, and fall will be really telling. I think what's going to really drive the fall market is the read on where interest rates are going. Right now, we're probably not seeing any adjustments when it comes to variable rate mortgages and fixed rate mortgages. Probably not, but we'll see. But I think certainly we're going to have a little bit more cues from the central bank in terms of where they're going in that direction. So that, I think, is going to be a driver for the fall market. But the spring market hasn't ended, and we're still in the middle of it. So we'll be really curious to see what happens certainly next month. So please tune in for the May market update video, because I think that'll really tell us a lot about what's happening in the spring, and possibly what to expect for the rest of the year in 2026. As always, we're loving your questions. Thank you so much for the feedback. You guys are awesome. Like, I get so many great questions each month, and emails and text messages and all that. Like, it's great. So keep it up. We will see you next month. Thanks so much for tuning in. Bye for now.